sat down today to watch what people are calling one of the most shocking films of the last year. It's called Red Rooms. The film premiered at the Karlovy Vary International Film Festival in July of 2023. It then had a limited release in August in Canada following its screening at the Fantasia Film Festival. This is where a bunch of you went wild over it and recommended it to me in my comment section, knowing it was right up my alley, knowing my interest in disturbing films. And just to be crystal clear, I'm talking about this film. I'm not talking about this film that's available for free on Tubi and will come up when you search for the title. Red Rooms is a French-Canadian psychological thriller drama that will turn everything you know about serial killer films on its head, exposing this subgenre from a completely different perspective. It is truly unique. In this film, we hear about the horrific deaths of 3 young girls via a courtroom case. The alleged perpetrator already hung by the court of public opinion, but now it's the law's turn. But we have some outliers. We follow the mysterious Kelly Ann into the court as she spectates the event, leaving us to wonder, who is she and what's her intent on being here? The movie is based around the idea of dark web and Red Rooms, of course. And the people attending this court case are warned early in the film. I will just read this paragraph in English, translated. The evidence in this trial is exceptional due to its extremely explicit and violent nature. If you feel like you may not be able to tolerate seeing it, it's best to leave now and avoid a commotion in the courtroom. And then they read the alleged crimes, and my God. I knew that this was going to be a difficult watch, but I had no idea what was coming. French and French-Canadian films have their own subgenre and reputation when it comes to disturbing content. We call this New Extremity or New French Extremity, and I've done a whole video on these kinds of films. Think Martyrs, In My Skin, or anything by Gaspar Noé. And let me assure you, Red Room is a different package. It's a different kind of these films, but it does measure up in its very own way. I found it extremely surprising because the film is not structured as expected. Red Rooms keeps the viewer guessing, and when the revelation occurs, a deep aftershock lingers. I definitely would say that this film is shocking, but it's not shocking in a gory or violent manner, at least not how I was expecting. The film utilizes the unsaid, unseen, and inferred to strengthen its terror. I mean, they could just show us, but why do that when they can keep the viewer guessing, wondering how bad could this truly be? This eliminates us from measuring this up to other films and other scenes that are just as graphic. It's a dangerous trap that keeps the viewer with the film long after it's over. This is one you won't forget. I mean, I definitely won't, because it plays in your mind all of the details you have, but more so all of the gaps that are left. But it's especially unforgettable due to the outstanding performances of its lead, Juliette Gayeppi, who delivers a flawless portrayal in her role as Kelly Ann. But the film excels by skillfully navigating within the realms of realism. It intricately engages with the nuances of its themes, acknowledging that these are facets of humanity we as people naturally avoid because it's too intense. Despite its exceptional subject matter, the film's strength lies in the fact that deep down, we are aware that crimes like this take place, but we're unable to process them. I mean, the idea of a red room is not exclusive to this film. I mean, this is the example. Although red rooms are considered an urban legend, they give an umbrella name and a overarching concept to crimes that have been uncovered in real life. Using the realism to its advantage, the film captures the experiences of individuals who are overwhelmed by the horrific acts committed in the story, and those who are, well, harder to read. The film feels both overplayed and underplayed at the same time. Like an uncanny valley version of reality, we know that this is all possible, but the emotional control of some of the characters and the stale, cold attributes, in particular the scenery of the film, feels so stoic in a time that you can only imagine would garner extreme reactions naturally. It's cold and uncaring, and because we aren't receiving the outburst we want, we are kept on the edge as the tension builds. And the scenery is where this all came together for me. It's set in the dead of winter, and the film takes place both in the sterile clinical courtroom with harsh overhead fluorescent lighting, and then the other parts in a bleak, desolate apartment. This mirrors the sense of being completely devoid of emotion to symbolize the gravity of the subject matter, and as well as the methodical manner in which the court must determine the accused's fate based on factual evidence. I found the film to be shocking, and as the penny finally dropped, we are left to make up our own final judgments. It's an interesting look at how we as humans interact with true crime and can't help but make our decisions based on emotions and intuition. If you like disturbing films, I highly recommend checking this one out. It does have a bit of a different pace, but it's well worth it. It's such a unique experience. Would I say it's the most shocking film from the past year? Probably not. But I did have my jaw hit the ground a couple of times, and it was well worth the payoff. It's an unforgettable experience, and I recommend adding it to your watch list ASAP. I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10 for personal score. I really enjoyed it. Scare score, I'm going to give it a 7. Again, this is just tension and based on disturbing factor. It's not really a horror movie. It's a thriller and psychological based, but I do think it has enough disturbing content to warrant this score. And originality, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. This film is already available in Canada on digital release and DVD, but you will be able to rent it in some other countries from the 17th on places like Plex. Good luck! And don't say I didn't warn you. If you have any more disturbing recommendations, please, please, please leave them down below. And if you want to check out every film that's worth knowing about coming up this year, I've done a mega list. 40 films coming out this year. I've got the scoop hot off the press. Check it out now. Stay safe and stay spooky. Bye, friends.